So life moves on, and from our perspective on our little planet here, we looked out to where the sun is, and its backdrop has moved on and has moved on into gateway number 28. We're in the top right-hand corner here in the blue section of the wheel. We're still in the season of Mabon or Persephone. And you'll see the 28 there, it's the second last one. It's now right beside it, you'll see the symbol for Scorpio, so well into Scorpio, that whole scene of transformation. And if you look at the chop marks here, we've got broken and then 4 solid lines and then a broken line at the top. The symbolism here is that there's a burden in life. The traditional translation is preponderance of the great, which basically means, there's a challenge. Can you move through the challenge? And in human design, we call it the game player, as though life itself is a game. How do we play the game? If you look at the 28, it's one of these gateways, these 7 gateways in the spleen center, and the spleen center has everything to do with our health and well-being. It also is our sensibilities, and the 28 is very much in the stream of intuition and the sound quality of the world around us. That little tap on the shoulder, all of a sudden you realize that something's changing in the frequencies around you. It's also the transition point between life and death. And so the 28 in its low form can be this paralysis that comes about with the fear of death. Of course, fear, F-E-A-R, false evidence appearing real. I mean, we're all going to die one day, but unless death is right in your face, then the 28, it reminds us, there's a quality to life. If you're going to be in a body and you're going to be alive, then live it to the max. Be the game player. Take it on. Wrestle with life if you need to, but dance with life as well. So in a sense, I always see the 28 as the gateway, the potential of celebration, that life is a celebration. We forget it very easily. We think, the circumstances are so heavy. But the thing of it is, we've got this design, we've got this life, we've got the circumstances. And the 28 is in individual circuitry. It's all about making transitions or transformations in one life, just taking on the challenge. So in its place in the wheel, of course, what is exactly opposite on the wheel, where the Earth resides at this time, is in the 27. And the 27 has solid and then 4 broken lines and solid at the top. It's exact opposite, yin yang. And this is the symbol of the open mouth. It's the gateway of nourishment. So on the one side, gateway of celebrating life, playing life to the max. Life is a game. And on the other side, how do you nourish yourself? To play this game, to play within this game. And then we look at the unconscious sun. We're in the 31, which is the voice, throat gate of influence, the influencing voice of a logical way of going about things. Very powerful voice. If you've got the 31 in your design, you'll know people want to hear what you have to say, so make it count. And then the unconscious earth is in the 41, this gateway of imagination. Or we might say the start codon, right? The start codon, where everything begins. And at this particular moment in time, Pluto's about to go back in there. And, for all of us, there's a whole transition going on, a whole new thing taking place in our lives. So the personal life theme of the unexpected, right? The game player, I'm ready for whatever life wants to give to me. I can disappear into the fear of it, or I can get involved and play it full out. Like grab the bull by the horns, go for it. Nourish myself, what does that mean? Good company, good food, good surroundings, good educations, materials, the sense of freedom in life to be well nourished. The 31, being very particular about how one is influencing and how one is influenced, right? And then the 41, what's the dream? What's the vision? What's possible? What is my imagination? Tell me is possible in this lifetime. So in a sense, you'll see this life theme, individual gateway, the 28, tribal gateway, 27, logical gateway, 31, abstract gate, 41. So it's a wide spread of possibilities here through this playing with life. And so the unexpected, necessarily people with this life theme, they are sometimes like a lightning rod. Things just happen to them. And you'll see, they also spark things in other people's lives as well. They somehow unsettle the world around them, and they produce new things, new possibilities, new expressions. They catch your attention. What's going on with this person? And so in amongst this group of people, John Cleese, Fawlty Towers, and Monty Python, Bill Gates. Where would the world be without Bill Gates and his Microsoft? Who knows? Julia Roberts, of the fabulous Julia Roberts smile, and this extraordinary actress, she's a showstopper. And also Picasso, tapped into the unexpected. Nobody was expecting him to do the artwork that came through him. So then the sun moves on, it hits into the fourth line. And in the fourth line, we have a transition from a personal life theme to a fixed life theme. And this is the one that we call risks. The 28 is always living on the edge. Life is interesting. There can be all kinds of things happen. And so there's still the 27 there, which has a certain quality of generosity about it in the fourth line. I love to engage in the world around me and with the people around me. And I like to take on a challenge. And then also on the unconscious side, we've got the 33, which is the voice of retreat, the storyteller. And on the other side, we've got the 19, the gateway called approach. And these 33 and the 19 are both directional gates. The 33 drawing in to wrap up a circumstance, an experience, and what's the moral, the story behind it. And the 19 reaching out, what is it that people really need here? Right? What's needed in this situation? So this very fixed life theme of risks. People with this life theme, they take a challenge. They will jump into something. They'll be a great storyteller. They'll be able to deliver the story in all kinds of different ways. And the person that comes to mind who has this particular fixed life theme, Richard Dreyfuss. You ever watched any of his movies? It's like you're captivated. What's he going to do next? Yeah, he's right on the edge, right? And so then sun moves on and we get into the fifth and sixth lines with this 28th hexagram. And, now we're kind of seeing the fifth line has this kind of leadership guide quality about it. The sixth line has this kind of wisdom about it. They overseeing everything that's possible. And at the same time, the 27 in the fifth line is really recognizing, what is nourishing in life? How do people get nourished? And the 28 with the 6 is to see who benefits from being nourished properly. How do we provide for people? And at the same time, we got the 33 and the 19. And this is the interpersonal life theme of alignment. People with this life theme, they bring things into alignment. They bring people's lives into an uprising possibility where things come into a smooth transition. And it doesn't mean to say it's dead easy doing this. The 28 is playing in all kinds of different realms. And it's, necessarily it's on the edge. Am I going to make it or not? It's a lifetime, it's a challenge. The preponderance of the great, this potential burden, the lake, the tui, the solid broken on the top. And on top of the forest, and you're trying to find your way through, trying to find your growth through it all. And so people with this life theme, their whole life, in a sense, is about bringing alignment, drawing things together, bringing different qualities of life together. Again, the 28 is in the individual circuitry, 27 tribal. The 33 is in the abstract, and the 19 is also in the tribal. So it's very much involved with people and circumstances. And bottom line, what do people really need? What are the morals that need to be put out into the world, like experiences that really come to fruition? How can people be guided towards these things and derive nourishment and be connected into life, find the celebration of life? People with this particular life theme, Diego Maradona, if you ever followed soccer, this guy, the hand of God when he beat England in the World Cup, it's like, but an extraordinary soccer player and quite a character in life as well, helping people come to terms with their life and find the joy in life, find the possibility of celebration. Gracie Slick, of Jefferson Airplane. You know, an unbelievable actress, artist, and musician, and really brought about a revolution in understanding music and art forms in the early days of rock and roll movement, if you will. John Adams, one of the presidents in America, who literally kind of went against a lot of other people and their kind of fixed ways of seeing life, so that the law could stand in its own right, that he would literally draw things together, quite opposed by a lot of people around him, but so that it aligned with what he saw was a right way of proceeding in life. So very much transitional people, transformational people with this particular life theme. The 192 life themes are all in this Book of Destinies. There's one for everybody on this planet. It is the story of humanity in a very particular light through human design. And all of these books, these human design trilogy, available Amazon and other places. So there we are, Gate 28, the game player. Life is a game, life is a transition. It's the transition between life and death. You know, on another level, the 28 is the remembrance of other lifetimes, you know, going through the veil into other terms. But there it is. It's a fascinating gateway and everything to play for. Let's leave it there.